Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. As always, we are joined by my partner in positivity, IFBB bikini professional, Miss Cathey Vaughn. Cathey, good to see you again.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Strength Unscripted on Subtalk Radio.
And today we are joined by a father, a grandfather. He is a works for BP during the day, and we ask you to join us and celebrate his 100-pound weight loss from couch potato pretty much to the stage where he is winning championships. And to make things easier, folks, we're going to call him. So let me back up. His name is Shon Johnson. Shon, welcome to the show. But to
Thank
make
you.
things easy and not confused, we're going to call him Johnson, and I will remain Shon. But Johnson, welcome to the show. It's an absolute honor.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
So, Johnson, start us off here because the main question last night on my Instagram was, what was the moment that you said it's time to change? Walk us back plus 100 pounds.
Okay. Wow. So let's rewind back to 2021. That year, actually, you know what? Let's rewind back to 2018. So 2018 was the year I decided that I was going to, do things that I was afraid of, or, that pushed me to a new level. One of those things was getting healthy. And in getting healthy, I decided to run the Chicago Marathon that year.
Wow.
Yeah. So I trained that year for the Chicago Marathon, and I ended up running that at 256 pounds. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty heavy. Because the diet wasn't part of my thing yet.
Okay.
So I would continue to run. I probably ran because I had started running in 2006 and ran all the way to 2022. 2018 is when I got like really serious and started running more like marathons and half marathons and things like that. But fast forward to 2021, I had gained more weight. I was like 285 pounds.
Wow.
And I was miserable. I was really miserable. I would go to the gym to work out. And as soon as I left the gym, I would go across the street to KFC. So Colonel Sanders was my trainer at that time.
Okay.
So everything I ate, I couldn't keep down. I'm having medical issues. I'm going to the hospital because of heart palpitations. I'm thinking I'm having a heart attack. I'm having biopsies on my stomach because I can't keep food down. They think I have ulcers. So these things started to scare me. So towards the end of 2021, I reached out to my now coach. I followed him for a while. He's been in the industry for a while. He was with Underground Athletes, Brandon Hendrickson and those guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he was with them. I reached out to him, and he said, "Okay, that's fine. Let's put a plan together. But first, I need you to get your blood work done and go have all these tests done," which was fine with me. So I did that, and my first day of training, which was virtual, was January 1st, 2022.
During COVID.
Yeah, well, 2022, 2 years later.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years later. So it was a challenge for me because I had the discipline to work out, but the eating part, maintaining my diet was something that was off.
Okay. So it sounds like you might have fallen into what many people do is you go to the gym for 2 hours. I lost 2 pounds. I'm going to go make it back by having burgers, fries, piece of cake. Very common amongst many people.
Yeah, because I thought I deserved it.
Yeah.
I just worked out 2 hours. What do you mean I can't have a burger and fries? I deserve this. Did you see all the sweat coming off my body?
Yeah.
So did you, when you went for your labs, was there anything alarming? I mean, was there anything, if I could ask you that?
No, just high cholesterol at the time, which is astonishing.
Okay.
I'm probably knocking on 5'7", if that.
Okay.
And to be 285 pounds, I'm morbidly obese.
Sure.
I'm wearing a 3X shirt. My pant size was I think I'm wearing like a 46 in pants.
Wow.
I'm miserable all the time. And I'm depressed
Mm-hmm.
because of how I look. And in that depression, I'm feeding the depression because
Self-soothing.
because it was self-soothing. I'm depressed in how I look. I hate it, but yet I'm still going to go buy this food. Makes me feel better for the amount of time that I'm eating it,
Yep.
and then when I'm done, I'm back in the same position.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got with my coach, Pushpinder, um, it was still a struggle for me through the whole year of 2022. In my eyes, that year was just to lose weight.
Okay.
I knew eventually I wanted to bodybuild,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew it took time. But I knew within myself I had to be patient in that. So from January 1st until 2022 until January 1st of 2023 was all focused on just losing weight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
May I ask, prior to you starting your fitness journey and like the massive amount of weight that you gained, did you always struggle with weight prior to that, or were you pretty much like lean and then gained the weight, or?
I was lean. I was young when I was younger. I was lean.
Mm-hmm.
In high school you're lean. I went to the Navy. I was lean. Coming out of the Navy, I was lean. I don't think I gained over. I didn't get over 220, 225 pounds.
Okay.
Okay.
But then, I got married. Life happens. I think one of the focal points that really hit me hard, my dad passed in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I got married in June of 2013. My dad passed in September.
Oh wow.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. And I didn't have time to grieve.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to, I have a new wife, I have stepchildren. I'm trying to be the man of the house, but I didn't have time to grieve.
Yeah.
So everything came in the form of food.
Gotcha.
Let this heal me. This food
Yeah.
tastes good. It's healing to me.
So do you feel like, because in a way it's like when you lost your father and then adjusting to the new change of life and everything, so it's kind of like in a sense like things were out of control, but do you feel like food was the one thing that you could control and that's why you like indulged in it the way that you
I
did?
I thought I could control it.
Yeah.
It's almost like any other thing that you're addicted to.
Yeah.
Most people say, if I wanted to, I can stop.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop.
Yeah, because
You know,
then, yeah, because the reason why I asked that question is because it's just like food. It does literally seem like food is the one thing that, like, okay, I can't control anything else, but I can control what I put into my mouth. And then
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
when you start eating that food, and then your taste buds hit it, and it's like a different type of endorphins that are being
yeah,
released, and it
yeah,
brings you up, and then it's like, oh, I feel good in this moment. And then when reality hits, you come back down, and it's like, oh man, I feel terrible. And it's like
yeah.
food will take you on a roller coaster, a
And
up
it was
roller coaster.
yeah, it was bad decisions on my part because my then wife was a bodybuilder.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she would help. Yeah, she would help me meal prep.
Mm-hmm.
I would take my meals to work. I would order food at work with the guys at work. I
Oh
would throw my
wow.
meal prep in the trash.
Yeah.
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 I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, she's not gonna know. I'll just toss this in the trash. And then I would complain to her, I'm not losing weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
it was
then, oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask. So do you feel like that experience is what like helped you now as far as like dialing it in because you know what it's like to BS a diet
Yeah,
and not stick to your nutrition plan because at the end of the day you can train 2 hours in the gym but you can't outwork a crappy diet.
indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. That the fear of getting fat again is something that keeps me on track.
Mm-hmm.
Even because coming down from 285 and hitting stage at 188, 185, and then you start to gain, you bring your water back and you start to gain, some more pounds.
Yeah.
There's always a fear of getting fat.
Yeah.
Even now, looking in the mirror, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fat. It's that self-perception that I am still this fat guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be this fat guy. So that pushes me daily. Like, all right, you got to get to the gym. You got to get up. You got to do these things. You don't want to be 285 pounds again.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but now, Shon, on the converse now, where you are you scared of food, thinking you might be eating too much and putting weight back on? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm not scared of food anymore.
Okay.
Because I'm so before I came on, I was just in here meal prepping.
Yep.
And I'm planning so much now because of work and because of the gym and bodybuilding. I'm planning. So I meal prep today.
Mm-hmm.
I know again on Monday, because I work day shift Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I switch over to night shift on Monday. I know in between that 24-hour time period that I have off between Sunday and Monday, I'll meal prep again. So I know how to control and dial it in. And okay, well, I had a cheeseburger and that's okay. I didn't overindulge. And then I'm right back to my, my meal prep food.
Mm-hmm.
So when you started your modifications, were you instantly happy, or was it kind of trying to get over that hurdle, or was it pretty instantaneously that first 2 pounds fell off and you're like, oh, wow, okay, I'm off and running?
Oh no, it took a while. It took a long time. My first meal plan he gave to me, and I was like, because when you're motivated, you'll go through it, But I always say I can be motivated to bodybuild today, and motivated to enter a pie eating contest tomorrow. So motivation comes and goes. But what I didn't have was the commitment part.
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% committed in 2022. Like the first, I'd say 10 to 15 pounds, I'm happy. Oh yeah, I've lost 10 to 15 pounds. Hey, let's go out to eat. What do you want to eat this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Cheap meal.
Yeah, but it wasn't just a cheap meal. It was a cheap weekend. So now I've gained 7 or 8 pounds back, and I'm like, oh, well, this sucks. So now I'm fighting against myself.
Yeah.
The whole year. So it took a long time. It took almost a year for me to actually really commit and decide, okay, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was a process.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Shon.
So it sounds like, when I'm listening, it sounds like the training part was easy, but it was overall the dieting and the mealing was the hardest.
Oh, the training is a piece of cake. I don't have a problem. I will go in the gym and I will stay in the gym for 2, 3, 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with that. It doesn't bother me. I don't need to see the TV. I don't need to see anything. That's what I love. But I love to eat also.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to learn how to eat the correct way.
Yeah.
And not just it's like if you have a gasoline car, you keep putting diesel in it, you're gonna destroy it.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. So then, outside of the nutrition, was there anything else that you struggled with, during that first year of transforming your body?
Yeah, my mental health.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My mental health was all over the place. I was functioning in depression.
Okay.
I look great on the outside. I'm smiling at everybody, but deep down inside, I am breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. I am, I'm driving home, I'm crying, and I'm wiping my tears, and coming in the house and like, hey, or on the flip side of that, I'm angry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so depressed. So that first year I struggled with my meal prep and food, and I also struggled with my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shon, when you went for your labs and whatnot, did you go to an endocrinologist or a hormone person? Because generally when people are overweight, their hormones are out of balance too. Did you have that checked out?
Yeah, I had it all checked out. So my coach told me, like, hey, you need all these things. I didn't know what I was getting. He was like, yeah, get this panel. You need this hormone panel. You need that. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever you want, man. I don't care at this point. I am just sick of how I look. So whatever he told me to do, I did.
Okay.
because I wanted to buy in, but I was still reluctant.
Mhm.
I was still reluctant. I wanted to buy in, but I was still reluctant because I had tried so many times before and it failed.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to finally buy in?
A year.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a year. So at the end of 2022, I text my coach, and I want to say I was down to about maybe 230 something pounds at that time.
Okay.
And I text my coach. I said, "Hey, I want to bodybuild," and he was like, "Hey, I was waiting on you to say that." Yeah,
Love it.
he was waiting on me. I knew it would take time.
Hmm.
He said he was just waiting on me. So January 1st, 2023 is when we actually started our training for my first competition.
Okay. When was your first competition?
November 2023, the Gladiator in Illinois.
Okay. So take us through that. Like, what was that first prep like? And what was it like backstage for you and then hitting the stage?
So that year was, oh my gosh, that year was crazy.
Hmm.
So that so that year, because like I said, in 2022, I struggled with my mental health, and it affected my marriage, my then marriage. So January 2023, upon starting my training for my first show, I also started therapy.
Okay.
So I'm going through therapy, I'm going through training, and there were so many highs and lows throughout that year.
Mhm.
So I started that in January. I started all those things in January. I actually separated from my ex-wife in January.
Okay.
I moved in with my daughter, so now I'm back at a low place.
Hmm. Hmm.
So now I am, and I'm going through the interview process for BP at this time.
Okay.
So and I'm all over the place. I'm trying to train, I'm going to therapy, I'm dealing with the separation. I'm interviewing for a new job. Then I get the new job, I'm at a high place again.
Hmm.
So I'm going through therapy. Therapy's going good because therapy is helping me focus,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and it's helping me train. It's given me another outlet to where I can not just work on myself physically, I can work on myself mentally.
Hmm.
Okay.
So I'm training through 2023. It's hard, for the emotional toll. August, I divorced, and now, it's just me. So now I threw everything into training.
Okay.
Nothing else mattered at that time. It was all training for me because I needed this outlet. I needed something to focus on.
Hmm.
So my separation and divorce pushed me into my training even more. It gave me even more of a focus.
Okay.
Okay.
So that prep, I think I probably was more focused that prep than I ever have been.
Hmm.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
I'm driving I'm driving an hour away to train on Sundays and Saturdays and Sundays. Sometimes didn't bother me because I'm focused.
Yeah.
I'm working out, 7 days a week. I'm cardio, almost every day, Stairmaster.
Yeah.
None of that bothered me because I'm so focused. But I still had doubts in myself.
Hmm.
Okay.
I didn't know how it was going to look.
Yeah.
I didn't know, coming from 285 all the way down, under 200, I still had loose skin,
Yep.
because once you age, the elasticity in your skin, it'll come
Hmm.
back some, but it won't, it's still
Sure.
going to be, yeah. So that first show, it was the most nerve-wracking, exciting, fantastic thing I have ever been in. Backstage,
Yeah.
I don't know anybody. My coach isn't back there with me. So one of my teammates is back there with me. I'm talking to him. Then I start talking to other people.
Hmm.
They're like, hey, man, you look great. And, I'm sharing my story. Oh, man, that's great. And, I'm still nervous, but I'm calming down. And when I step on stage,
Yeah.
those lights hit me and I freeze like a deer. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
remember, turn,
Breathe.
pause, yeah,
Yep.
breathe. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh God, I missed it. I missed it.
Full
All right,
flight.
turn back.
Yep.
Wait. Why would standing on stage in your underwear in front of a front of strangers make you worried? Come on.
Oh my gosh, I was so worried. And the part of that was because I didn't look like everybody else.
Mm.
Mhm.
My skin wasn't as tight as everyone else's. You know, my abs didn't show like everyone else's. So I am in my head. I'm
Um,
nervous.
yeah.
You know, I had my eldest daughter and my sister come, and I am panicking. And so I entered three categories of order. I entered novice.
Okay.
I entered masters 40 plus,
Okay.
light heavyweight, and I entered open light heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the first time I got on stage, like I said, oh my God, it's so many things are coming at you, so many thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I walk off stage, I am fine. I
Love
go
it.
back up and I am having the time of my life. I am like, this is amazing.
Love it.
That's
Oh my.
awesome. Yeah. So I just
Talk,
want to say that your story is just like it's mind blowing, but in a good way
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
and
that.
inspiring.
Sean, the one thing we didn't discuss yet is if we talk about your diet, your training, you're getting ready for stage. How frequently? Talk about posing. How frequently or how often are you posing? Because sometimes people forget about that. Many people, when they're the first show, they just think they're hitting up there, but they don't realize you got a whole lot for
Yeah.
60, 90, seconds. And so talk to us about that.
That pose, no, those poses are probably the worst poses I have ever done. Because when you haven't done it and you're new to it, you're like, oh, I'll be okay. And my coach is on me. He's like, you got to pose every day.
Yep.
When you wake up in the morning, you got to vacuum in the morning. I'm like, vacuum? Man, I don't have time to vacuum. I don't have 10 minutes in the morning. I got to get to work. So those are probably some of the worst poses that I have ever done and I'm cramping on stage. I'm like, this sucks, but I love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So how did you place? Obviously, share with us 3 different divisions.
So novice, I placed second.
Wow.
Masters 40 plus, I placed fourth,
Mm-hmm.
and open, I placed eighth.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but for me, it didn't matter
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I was doing something that I loved. Like I wanted to bodybuild
Mm-hmm.
probably since I was in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So now I am walking in my dream. Like this has been a dream. It's a reality now.
Yeah.
But the only thing with that, I still didn't feel like a bodybuilder after that first show.
Mm.
I did not. I just felt like I felt like a fraud. I was
Mhm.
like, I am up here in these underwear playing with these people. So in that prompted me to do 6 more shows. So I
Okay.
did 7 shows in a 13-month span.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how, because I become obsessive when I lock onto a thing.
I get
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I become like, okay,
It consumes you.
all that
Yeah.
it consumes
Yeah.
me so much.
It's consuming.
So yeah, you understand. Like
I
it's
get it. Trust me, I get it. I feel like in this sport, so because like I can be very compulsive,
yeah,
obsessive, and just like all in. Like when
yeah,
I'm in, my husband would be like, "Babe, like you can't find balance. Like when you're all in, you're all in." But I feel like it takes that type of person to thrive in a sport like this. Like you can't go into bodybuilding and be in the gym and only give 20%. You have to give
yeah,
120%.
Yeah.
Like everything has to be on point. Your nutrition, your training, as hard as it is to like even like be on point with your sleep, like recovery has to be on point. Everything has to be on point, and you have to be somewhat obsessive and regimented to be on point. So I
yeah.
totally get you 100%.
Yeah, I am so obsessive. The one thing that I may still struggle with is my recovery and sleep.
That's tough.
Okay.
That
It
is
is.
the hardest thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Working in a refinery, we are always moving. There are times last year from August until I did the Gladiator second time last year in
Mm-hmm.
24. I was working 12 days on, 2 days off.
That's tough.
Yeah, 13 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm working night shifts. So I'm getting off at like 4:30 in the morning. I'm headed straight to the gym to do an hour of cardio. I'm coming home trying to get, because I live 3 minutes from the gym.
Right.
Coming home, showering, trying to get into bed as quickly as I can so I can get at least 5 to 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So that recovery for me is always hard.
So then, since it's hard for you to practice like healthy sleep habits, what do you do for recovery? Do you get massages? Do you go to like spas? Like, what do you do
I usually, so
outside?
I'll get massages.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily go to spas, but I will sit in a sauna. I will go
Mm-hmm.
sit in a sauna for a long time. And I will skip a day of training or 2 days of training
Yeah.
so I can recover.
So you do listen to your body. That's good.
I have to. I
Yeah.
have to. Because if I don't, I will drain my battery. I won't be good to anybody, especially myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to listen to my body. When my body says, hey, go sit down, I go sit down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to. Or it means nothing if you can't recover.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be prone to injury. And, so yeah, I have to recover.
Yeah.
So, Shon, so as you mentioned, you go ahead and decide to compete. 8 more times did you say? Or how many more times now?
So I've competed 7 times in a 13-month span. So from November of 2023 until December of 2024, I competed 7 times.
Okay, so if you don't mind, I want to bring up one of the pictures you showed me to show all the listeners here. Um, a lovely before and after. And
Yeah.
this was a Masters show when you took first place, correct?
Yeah, that's the Mid America Winter Classic. That is Masters 50 plus, and I took first place in that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you so
impressive.
much. I
Okay.
was no,
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You finish what you're gonna say, and then I'll ask my question.
So that show, I was more dialed in. So usually I'm never upset about my placing. I
Mm-hmm.
usually say, I can't, it's the judge's decision.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make the judge see me in a different light. He picks who he wants. But the show before that, in the Masters 50 plus category, I was center stage at prejudge.
Okay.
Right.
I'm happy coming out of prejudge. I'm talking to, my lady and my daughter. I'm like, oh, I'm center stage. This is great. And we come back that night. I'm in second.
Oh.
Oh no.
And I'm like, what the, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, it bothered me some because I'm like, I'm thinking, what happened?
Yeah.
What did I miss? What did I do wrong? And then I just realized I had to let it go, train harder,
Yeah.
dial it in even more,
Mm-hmm.
and just bring a better package that next show.
Yeah.
So I was ready that show. And that show, it's for some reason, I was more confident. That show, I was more confident than any show I had ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my confidence level was so high. I was backstage talking to people. I'm people I've seen at the other shows. I'm there, because bodybuilding is such a tight-knit and close community. It's small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All of these shows, I've met friends, I follow people, and I'm talking to these people backstage. I'm taking pictures, I'm smiling, and I'm laughing. I'm carefree.
Yeah.
Like there's no stress on me. I am here to have a good time. I think I look great. Everybody else looks great. I'm going to give it my all, whether I come in first or last. I'm going to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I took into it. And luckily, I took first place in my age category.
Yeah. Yeah. That mindset, it matters.
Yeah.
Feeling confident, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
I remember when I first went to nationals, and I remember I was the one backstage looking at everyone else like, oh man, like, geez, Jack, her shoulders are full. Look at her glutes. Look at those tie-ins. I remember looking at everyone and being nervous. And then that competition where I earned my pro card, it was totally different. I felt so confident. I felt good. I said, it doesn't matter, where I place, win or lose, I won because I know 100%, I brought my best. And then I remember what it felt like to have people looking at me. You know what I mean? Like I was so when I look back, it's like having that confidence, it plays such a big role in your performance when you're on the stage. Just by you sharing that, it like I totally get it, and then it
Yeah.
just
Shon, was there anybody that you bodybuilders that you thought you looked like, or maybe wanted to kind of model your physique after?
No, I'm always impressed with everybody.
Okay.
One of my favorite bodybuilders is his Instagram name is Lucky Libra. I forget his name. I think Andre Ferguson.
Oh yeah, okay.
I love Andre's physique, and I love Andre's attitude. I always call him the bad boy of his division. I always loved his back. His back was always amazing. It's like, man, if my back could look like that. So I'm always focusing on my back. I love Brandon. He has amazing physique and back, but I always wanted to just see what I can put together myself.
Yeah.
See what I can look like when I'm, at my peak, and I'm still working. Even at 50, I'm still working on it. I got into the game late. I started after 45, and you're like, who does that? Who starts bodybuilding after 45? Most guys are retired by now. Yeah. So I started late, but it's something that I love. It's something that it grounds me. It has bodybuilding has. I always say bodybuilding saved me.
Mm-hmm.
Because 2023 was such a tough year, and it gave me something to focus on. It gave me something to look forward to. The next show and the next show, always being in prep. It kept me grounded. It kept me committed.
Mm-hmm.
So now doing 7 shows in 13 months, and now taking some time off, I'm still committed.
Yeah.
I've learned how to commit to this thing and how to the proper way to eat, the proper way to work out, proper recovery, supplementation, all of these things I have learned. So now I still fear getting fat, but I still have that passion to continue to do this thing and to continue to stay small.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a certain show, Shon, where you finally looked around and said, I deserve to be here? Because I probably wasn't the first show. Was there a certain
It was the last one.
Okay.
The last one.
It was the last show when I felt like I had that was the 7th show.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I'm a bodybuilder now.
Yeah.
I deserve to be here. So that really cemented, me feeling confident.
Yeah.
And then to get the judges' feedback, I was like, oh, this is great. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, just work on this little area. And I was like, oh, this is great. Yeah, I belong here now. So having, going through so many shows, like most of the shows that I went through, it didn't matter where I placed. I went to nationals. I shouldn't have been in nationals. I wasn't ready for nationals, but I wanted to be there. I wanted that experience.
Yeah.
I think there was 18 guys and I was 17, and the only reason I was number 17 because the last guy didn't show up for finals. But I was still happy to be there. It didn't matter that I didn't get a pro card. It didn't matter that I didn't get a trophy. What mattered to me was that I was doing something that I loved, and I always want to inspire people. A lot of times when when I'm on Instagram and I'm making videos, I'll say sometimes, I'm just like you. I'm no different from you. The only thing is I didn't give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't give up. I stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, once they see the diet, once they see the workout and all the things that you need, they generally say, no, I can't do that. They're defeated within that first 5 minutes of you telling them what you need to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's just, for me, that just wasn't me.
Yeah.
Yep. Shon, you talked about your mental health progression. Sounds like you're in a great space now. Talk to us maybe a little bit about where you were at 285 and how your body feels now, joints, bones, things like that. I'm sure you must feel like a young man again.
Oh my gosh, at 285, I was always hurting. Mm. I was always breathing like an elephant who just ran a 5K. There was always something, everything hurt. My heart was racing all the time. I still snore, but then I probably snore like a bear from the time I laid down until the time I got up. Whereas now, a lot of times I don't feel 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going into the gym and I'm working out and I'm forgetting that I'm actually 50 years old and I'm doing these things. And I'm able to use the stairmaster with no pain. I'm able to lift with my shoulders and my elbows not hurting. So it is a 180 from where I was in 2022.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So may I ask, when you look in the mirror now, do you accept what you see?
No,
No?
I do not. I
Oh.
do not. It
Hmm.
it is it's still a struggle for me when I look in the mirror.
Hmm.
I still see the fat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say, okay, I need to work on this. But before, so excuse me, I had a real bad problem with self-deprecation
Okay.
before. Oh, you're so fat. You're so, you don't look like this. You don't look like that. So I'm still trying to pull myself out of it. It's a struggle.
Hmm.
It's a
Hmm.
struggle. There are times that I do look in the mirror. I'm like, oh, you look great. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go.
Yeah.
But there are still times where I'm like, okay, I feel fat. One thing I do, and I've probably done it here, I always pull my shirt. That was a thing I did when I was overweight because my shirt's getting stuck in this crease, it's stuck in that crease, and I'm trying to
Hmm.
get it out. And now it's a habit because it's so ingrained in me, and I don't even realize I'm doing it. My girlfriend's like, "Hey, why are you pulling your shirt?" I was like, "Oh, it's just a habit. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's mental. I don't even know that I'm doing it."
Hmm.
So, but
Hmm.
there are times that I think I look great. There are times that I think I look terrible.
Hmm.
Okay.
But in those terrible times, a lot of times I will go back and look at my old pictures. Like,
Yeah.
you're not that
Hmm.
anymore. If you ever look at my videos on Instagram, I usually wear maybe 3 or 4 of the same shirts.
Hmm.
Okay.
One says I escaped. I call it my fat boy shirt.
Hmm.
Okay.
That is the shirt that I wore when I was 285.
Wow.
I wear that shirt as a reminder when I'm in the gym. It might fall off me. It looks like a
Yep.
dress sometimes, but that is my reminder to myself is you're not that anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that anymore. Just continue to stay committed. And hopefully you won't revert back to what you used to be.
Yeah.
Do you ever it sounds like you're in prep quite often. Do you ever indulge in a cookie or a piece of cake, or is that like more fear than anything else?
No, I do, but
Okay.
I never tell my. I usually try to not tell my coach.
We'll make sure we don't see this, coach.
If he sees this, he's gonna be like, I knew it. So yeah, sometimes I will, but it's the overindulging that would always
Yeah.
get me.
Yeah.
Now I don't need food to make me feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I was saying earlier before we came on, I had a rough morning, got in an argument with somebody while I was in the gym, and I'm mad. And usually when I was like that, I would leave the gym and go grab breakfast.
Mm.
But this morning, got off the phone, calmed down,
Hmm.
finished my workout,
Yep.
got my
Hmm.
protein shake, came home, did the things that I needed to do. So my mindset has totally shifted
Yeah.
from what I used to be.
Yeah. So bodybuilding has strengthened you physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And emotionally as well.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
am not the same guy that I used to be.
Hmm.
Um, it is. I'm so surprised. Like, people who knew me then and talk to me now, I'm like, man, you don't even sound the same. You don't look the same. You don't sound the same. Um, and a big part of that is for me um, is forgiveness.
Yes.
Like, I had to forgive the people who I felt wronged me,
Hmm.
and I also had to forgive
Hmm.
myself.
That's right.
I had to let the things go that I was holding on to myself. I had to forgive myself for all the things that had happened. Hey, yeah, you did that. It's okay. Give yourself some grace.
Yes.
Forgive yourself.
Hmm.
Move on and don't worry about it anymore.
Hmm. You feel free, don't you?
Oh my gosh, I am so free.
Hmm.
And
What
so, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
so what does your daughter and your family like think? Of they? I mean, well, when they see you, kind of like some people might look at like parents sometimes look, oh, you're withering away, and not look at
Yeah.
look at like negatively sometimes, like, oh no, you're not eating enough. You love the big boy. You eat more.
So I probably I've been critiqued more as a bodybuilder
Hmm.
than I was when I was fat.
Mm.
No one would ever tell me that. They'll never say you're fat. They will never say, oh, you need to stop eating. But when I get down to 205 pounds, 200 pounds, 195, oh, you need to eat.
And
Oh, you're so small.
and then you know how our people can be. You getting too small, you look like a crackhead.
I heard that so many times.
Yep.
Like, what are you on? Like, what are you
Yep.
doing?
Yep.
Oh, so I love my mom to death. I love my mom. And one show, that was the second time I did the Gladiator in 24. She saw my pictures, like, oh, you're so small.
Hmm.
So when I started gaining weight again, she's like, oh, you look so healthy. I was like, what do you,
Yeah.
what do you look like? What
Right.
is that?
Yeah.
What is that? You
Yep.
know, everybody's saying, oh, you should eat. You need to eat. You need to eat.
Hmm.
But this is part of who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't tell people, hey, you need to stop drinking.
Yeah.
Hey, you need to stop smoking cigarettes. These are things that are detrimental to you.
Yeah.
So why are you so critical of me taking control of my health?
Yeah.
You
I think
know,
sometimes people are so quick to comment because it's more so like, I don't want to say jealousy, but more so like maybe like frustrated, like
yeah.
they're doing something, they're changing their lives, but like they don't have the skill set, the willpower, or whatever the case may be to, make the changes that they see that like we're making. I don't
But
know.
that's so
Yeah.
true. That's so true. Throughout this journey, so
Hmm.
I would make videos when I was heavier. I've probably been posting videos since probably 2018, 2019, COVID year. I've been
Yeah.
posting videos, but I was bigger, so nobody commented. And as I got smaller, people would comment and people would come to me for advice, and I would give
Yeah.
them advice. And hey, what's this? Here's a meal plan for this. And it's the commitment part,
Hmm.
that they don't want to get to.
Yeah.
But they will tell you, well, I can't do that. Well, how did you do that? Like it's some magic. How did you do that?
Yeah.
Dude, there's no magic pill. I am eating the same thing 365 days a year.
Hmm.
Whether I want to or not, I am eating the same. And you can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping you. You don't have to be as extreme as I am.
Yeah.
I'm an extremist. That's just who I am.
Hmm.
But you don't have to be that extreme. You don't have to take it there. You can lose 20, 30 pounds and still feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all in how you want to be perceived and how you feel
Hmm.
at the end of the day. If you want to lose weight, you don't have to do it to the extent that I did, but
But it can be
just take,
done.
yeah, take
Yeah.
control of you. Take
Yeah.
control of it. You
Yeah.
have that willpower and that thing inside you that I have to
Hmm.
take control of your life.
Yeah.
We make all these decisions about, I can do this and, I'm going to do that. But when it comes to our health,
Yep.
we're always lacking in that department.
Yeah. Well, Sean, I can honestly say that. Sorry, y'all. It's like thunderstorm, hail, and all that in my area. But Sean, I can honestly say that like you are like a true visual testament of like it can be done. Like your mind was made up, you put
Yeah.
in the work, you've been consistent, and you're still consistent, and you're constantly improving. So like that right
Yeah.
there is the evidence of consistency. It can be done.
It can.
Yeah.
I would tell my coach and I would tell my daughters, I said, I would always tell my coach, I said, you should be thanking me. I am a walking billboard for you.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, when I post my before and after pictures, there's such a big response.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh my God, you look amazing! What did you do?" They will before they say congratulations. It's always, "Hey, what did you do?
Yeah.
How'd you do it? What's your meal plan? What's this? What are you taking? What is?" So that I've always wanted to be an inspiration, in this industry and what I do, and just show people that it can be done. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing stopping you. It can be done.
Yeah.
You just have to want to motivate. Like I said, you just be committed. Motivation comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be committed to it. And we commit to so many other things, but this seems to be one of the hardest commitments that you will make in your life.
Yeah, and one thing I'll speak for Cathey here, that she said with your before and after pictures, you look tremendously younger now than
Oh,
you did
really?
with the other pictures.
Well,
Yes,
thank you. I appreciate
you
that.
do. I told Shon that you remind me of the curious case of Benjamin Button. You are aging in reverse.
That's a good thing. I appreciate it. You
Yeah.
know,
And this is my first interaction with you, but from just following you on social media, it seems like you're living your best life.
I am.
Mhm.
I'm doing what I love, and
Uh-oh.
it's
Yep.
Okay.
there's no weight on my shoulders with it. There's no weight for anything. I'm just doing. I'm 50 now. I'm like, I probably got like 35 good summers left, and I don't
Yeah.
I don't want to waste those being upset and being mean, and no, I don't want to live that type of life. I want to be open, and I want to love on people, and I want to help people, and I want to be just an inspiration to all those who see me, who think that it can't be done.
Yeah. So you just said you're in your 50s, right?
Yes.
So what would 50-year-old Sean tell 25-year-old aspiring bodybuilder Sean? What would you have told yourself back in your 20s when you were?
Oh my gosh. So if my 20-something-year-old self would have listened,
Yes.
um, I just stay committed. Stay committed. There are going to be hard times, but you don't need food to help you through those hard times. There's other things that can help you, but being committed, staying committed to yourself, staying true to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and not giving up your dreams for others. God, I did that a lot. I gave up my dream for others.
Yeah.
So putting yourself on a back burner, it hurts also. So yeah, not giving up your dreams and staying committed.
Okay. So then, since and that's good advice to 25-year-old Sean and anybody that's watching right now. So since we have talked about food as well, what does your diet look like, and what is your favorite meal in the off season and during prep?
Oh my gosh. Oh, so you want my exact diet? I'll go through it.
You don't got to give us your
Macros and
exact.
stuff.
What was that?
You don't have to give us macros, but it's like it's chicken, rice, veggies, or fish
Yeah,
and
like
rice.
tilapia, steak, like
It is egg whites. It
Okay.
is chicken tenders, not chicken breast. I have to ask him why he switched me too. He switched me from chicken breast to chicken tenders. We'll talk about that later.
More fat. More
Yeah.
fat, probably.
Okay. There's ground turkey. There's lean ground beef.
Okay.
There's jasmine rice.
Mm-hmm.
Protein shake.
Okay.
Casein shake. Those are that's every day.
Okay.
That is every day. My favorite prep meal, I don't think I have one.
No.
No, I don't think I have one. My favorite prep meal. No, I love sweet potatoes.
Okay.
Yeah, so if when he gives me sweet potatoes, sometimes I will sneak.
You throwing a few extra grams?
I will sneak hot honey on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will put some slap your mama seasoning.
So you like yours like spicy. You like it
Yeah.
a little spicy. Okay.
Yeah, and hot honey.
Okay.
And I'll do the same to the salmon.
Okay.
And that is probably my best prep meal.
Okay.
Outside of prep, I don't really have one. I am a sweets guy.
Gotcha.
I love sweets. So I will bake myself cookies.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to own an online cookie store.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was part of the problem too. I was always baking and eating.
Gotcha.
You got to test every batch. You got to test every batch before it goes out.
I would always have to test the cookies.
Yeah. So then I guess at this point, then food to you is not really food; it's fuel.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can go without I'm like, okay, I'll eat something or I'll smell something. Like I live close to a Beggar's Pizza and a
Okay.
couple of burger spots, and
Mm-hmm.
I could smell it and come right in the house and eat some rice and chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't affect me like it used to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Before I would smell it and be like, hey, let me go get a slice of pizza. Yeah, that smells really good.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, it smells good, but I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna be fine with that.
So listening to you say that, like the smell of food, other foods that are non-prep, it doesn't like phase you like it used to.
No,
So you broke the addiction of food.
yeah,
How does that make you feel?
it makes me feel great.
Yeah.
It makes me feel great that I can walk in the mall and walk past a food court and not care.
Yeah.
I can
Okay.
walk past a cheesecake factory and be like, you know what? I don't want the Salisbury steak today,
Yeah. Yeah.
and keep going. So yeah, it feels really good. It's a liberating experience. It
Mm-hmm.
really is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just like I said, I love what I do. I love the point that I am in my life. I love all the trophies and the accolades and things like that. The only thing that I ever wished was that because people they celebrate you on the back end,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but I wished a lot of the celebration on the back end was the support I needed on the front end and the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You know, that was always something that I longed for. I would because I was always by myself. Bodybuilding is it can be a lonely sport.
It can be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Shon. So you shed the weight of a small child. You stepped on
probably
stage.
probably three.
You stepped on stage multiple times. You won championships. Kind of what's next? Is there a bigger challenge within bodybuilding, outside of bodybuilding? What's the next goal or yeah, I guess goal maybe.
So the next, you know what? I would love to win my pro card one day,
Okay.
but I know that's a process.
Mm-hmm.
That will be the ultimate goal for me in bodybuilding
Mm-hmm.
is my pro card and to be able to compete at a pro level. There's going to be a lot of things that need to take place first, but that would be my goal inside of bodybuilding. Outside of bodybuilding, I like to own a farm one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bought some land in Arizona, and I'd like to build a farm there one day. So that's my ultimate goal outside of bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is that the correlation? You in one of your pictures, you're holding a couple of chickens or a chicken on one of your Instagram posts.
Yeah, I love animals. Yeah, I love animals. So I've always wanted a farmhouse with a wraparound porch and a couple of cows and a couple of horses and a ram bighorn. So, yeah.
You're not going to get that in Chicago though.
No, not at all. Yeah. Eventually, like I probably have 10, 11 good years left in my job. And once I'm done there, move away, build my dream home and, ride off into the sunset.
That's the life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shon, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you like on your overall happiness and where are you like with 10 being the best and 1 obviously being where you were and hopefully we'll never go back again?
Gosh, I am probably past the 10.
Wow.
Like I'm happy and I'm happy with myself.
Yeah.
Like I love myself because I didn't love myself before.
Yeah.
I'm happy with my job because I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I'm happy in the relationship that I am now.
Love it.
I'm happy with my children. I'm happy with my granddaughter. Like of course, you're going to have things that come up. Excuse me. Of course, you're going to have things that come up and setbacks, but I'm still happy even in that.
Yeah.
I'm still joyful even in those times.
Mm-hmm.
Shon,
Yeah.
as we wind down, if you don't mind me asking, do you still see a therapist or is it kind of gone and forgotten?
It is. So he said that I was doing so well that now we can go every 6 months.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I started off at my therapist. I was going every week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then we started going every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Then we started every once a month.
Okay.
There was like once every so many months, and he's like, "Man, you're doing so well. Let's just schedule this once every 6 months just to check in and see and make sure everything is okay."
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good to check in. It's always good to check in to make sure that you're doing well and that your mental health is well. Because it all correlates.
Yeah.
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 Because I think some people, they go to therapy and they figure once you feel better, you're done. But it's like you said, I think whether for a tune up, just to kind of high, low, whatever, or what, at least once a year or something, just to keep connection.
Yeah, when you have suffered from depression or because it never really goes away. It always tries to creep up. So it's always good to go talk to somebody, be like, hey, I know I haven't seen you since, January, but this is what I felt in January, and this is what I thought about. And he'll go through a series of questions and like, hey, did you feel suicidal? Hey, did you want to do this? And no, I didn't feel any of those things. This is what I did for it. So it's just a checkup.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cathey, as you wind down, please ask any questions.
So I would like to know, do you plan to compete anytime this year? Or you just
Yes.
this year is okay?
Yes. I told my I told my coach last week. I was like, "Hey man, we're 30 weeks out from the Winter Classic.
Okay, so you're
I
gonna
already,
do that again?
I already booked my room.
Look at you. Okay.
I already booked my room. When there's a show that I want to do, I am very proactive. I book my room months in advance. I
Wow.
book my tan months in advance. I get all that stuff taken care of because during the last 8 weeks leading up to the show, I don't want to think about anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to have to worry about a suit. I don't want to have to worry about a tan. I don't want to have to worry about staying at the sister hotel because I waited till I don't want to do any of that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
very proactive when it comes to my shows.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like you have a really good support system, that has been with
Yeah.
you in this journey.
Yeah, so I have, even though they don't understand it
Yeah.
most of the time, my children and my children are probably the biggest supporters that I have. My
Love it.
coach, he's more than my coach. He's my friend. He's my
Yeah.
brother. I call and talk to him about stuff. Hey man, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I think I look. What do you think? Check in with each other because I do check-ins every Saturday. I'm posing for him every Saturday. I'm like, hey man, what do you think? And we talk all the time. So he's one of my biggest cheerleaders also.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have a pretty strong foundation when it comes to a support system.
Yeah. And outside of your support system, do you have a fan club at the gym?
So you know what? I don't think I do. But it's just like I am more bodybuilding has opened me up to be more receptive to others. I was so
Okay.
closed off before.
Yeah.
I go to the gym and wouldn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I don't need these people. I don't want to talk to anybody. Get away from me.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
now I'm at the gym. Before I start working out, I'm talking to people. I'm talking to the trainers, the front desk guy. I'm talking to the cleaning lady. I'm talking to, if I see somebody that I don't know and I'm watching them do an exercise, I'll walk up and talk to them. Hey, man, mind if I give you some advice on that exercise?
Yeah.
So I'm more receptive. I'm more open to people. So I think my community at the gym is a good one also.
That's awesome. It's always,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good support system outside
Yeah.
of your family.
Oh, yeah.
Shon, you mentioned the gym. How many times do people ask you your age, and when you tell them, like, yeah, you lying?
Oh, my God. This is at least once a week.
Yeah.
It is at least once a week. They're like, hey, man, you look good. How much do you weigh? Hey, man, I'm like 218 pounds. No way. How old are you? I'm 50. No, you're lying. No, you're not 50 years old. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
hear that at least once a week.
Yeah. Do you ever like being considered, a master's competitor or whatever the case may be, do you ever feel like you have to work harder to keep up with the younger guys or prove something for yourself? Do you get what I'm saying?
You know what? I used to feel like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I gotta work twice as hard to look like these guys. But now I just take it as it comes.
Yeah.
Just stick to the plan, and just stick to the plan. It's like Novocaine. It'll work eventually.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to change my exercise 92 times in a 6-month period to make it work. These exercises that I've been doing, they will work. I just have to be consistent and stick to the plan that was laid down for me.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you want to compete at a light heavyweight again, or do you think you'll step up a class in for your next show?
Ooh, I want to be light heavyweight. I like that. I think it goes from 196 to 195. I like that range. I'm looking at some of these guys over 19. Well, no, it's 198. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm looking at some of these.
Yeah, 176
Yeah.
to 198. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these guys over 198. Nah, no. Yeah, I feel more comfortable at 196.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable. My coach would like me to come down even more to compete in classic.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm like, dude, it's hard getting down to 188, 185. You know,
Yeah.
and that's the smallest I've been is 188, 185 on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you train, what's your favorite muscle group that you like to train?
Back.
Back. Yeah.
And you know, most of my videos are me working my back. I love back. If you say let's work back, I am gonna work you to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna start off with pull-ups because nobody likes pull-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody likes pull-ups. So that is my thing. Pull-ups, back. I love back. Hate legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legs is not easy, but I mean, when you get through it, it's like, man, I did that.
Yeah, that was me yesterday. Now my legs hurt today. Yeah. So I am. Yeah, back is great. Legs great. Chest is okay. I'm like, chest is chest. I'm gonna do chest anyway. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But back is my all-time favorite exercise.
Yeah.
Especially pull-ups. I love pull-ups. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of back, someone's back and shoulders looking a little on fire lately, madam.
Ooh.
Yes, you.
Thank you.
I'm watching our videos like, man, her back looks amazing. Look at her shoulders. I'm like, she looks great.
Well, I have to give credit to my dad. Genetically, my dad, like, I get my shoulders from my dad. So, like, my dad has just, like, nice, wide shoulders. So, thanks, Dad. You know, when I was a kid, I hated, everybody said I got broad shoulders. But, you know, I guess it works in my favor now.
Hey, any advantage you can get, take it.
Yeah.
Well, this has been awesome. So, Shon, as we wind down here, you know, where can people follow you on Instagram? Plug, you know, everybody in your ecosystem. Give shout outs. The floor is yours, my friend.
Oh wow! You can follow me on Instagram at Pop Muscles. On Facebook, I am Shon Johnson. Like to give a shout out to my mom because you can't do anything without giving a shout out to your mom. To my daughters, I love my daughters to death. To my heart, my granddaughter, to my girlfriend Crystal, because I keep her, you know, she has to deal with me when I am in prep, and it is not a good thing. To my coach, he has been in my corner from day one. So I want to give a shout out to him. To all my gym people, love you guys. Yeah.
Love it. And Cathey, any announcements for you? You want to share your Instagram as always?
So my Instagram is Cathey, and that's CATHEYV.IFBBPro. That's my Instagram handle, and you guys can follow me there.
Yes, follow the progress of both these people, and there's some slow progress on my end, but I can't compare to these two people kicking butt and taking names. But again, Shon, it's truly been an honor. We want to thank you so much on behalf of Cathey and myself, and you know, hopefully we'd love to have you back, whether it's talking about the road to your next show or coming to the next show with your trophy in hand or your award in hand.
Yeah, I'd love to come back. Thank you for having me. This was great. I was nervous. I was so nervous, but this has been great.
Yes, thank you for sharing your story. It's truly inspiring, and I really hope that it touches other people like it touched me today.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I know it will. And obviously, Shon, you just exude positivity. If people have questions, I'm sure after this, next week, future, your inbox is going to blow up here saying, I saw you on the show. So just be prepared, my friend.
Yeah.
Send me a message. I'll respond.
And
especially if I'm at work.
Ron Johnson, do you have any sponsors?
None.
Okay, so
None.
anybody that wants to sponsor John, y'all hit him. I mean, Shon, hit him up, DM him on Facebook, Instagram. He dropped his handles, but I definitely encourage somebody to sponsor him because
Oh,
he's
thank you.
a great
That'd be
person
amazing.
to represent whatever brand you got that's worthy of representing.
Thank you.
Yes, and for everybody listening, thank you so much. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what you think of Cathey and I teaming up for a second time here. Any guests that you'd like to see, reach out to us. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in and have a great week.
Yes.